Ghee.
What up, brother?
How are you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
So, man, so good. So, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I've always been a fan of your music. I've followed it for a long time, and but today, in preparation for this, I went down the rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm.
and man, I've had a magnificent morning studying your catalog. For people who may know about you or may not know about you, Ghee is hip hop royalty. He's worked with the who's who in hip hop. His catalog is extensive. His catalog is fire.
Fire! We're gonna go fire!
Over 10 amazing projects. And in addition to his music, he's a director and has worked on a lot of other creative projects. So we want to get into all that. What I always like to do is allow guests to kind of talk about their musical journey. So we could go back to when you first started it in music. Like, when do you first start getting involved in music?
Started getting involved in music through my cousin and my brother. My cousin was a DJ and a rapper. My brother was a rapper. And, my cousin used to build his own speakers, so on and so forth. They had their own crew. And I used to just watch them. They used to sneak me to parties, so on and so forth. And I just pretty much watched them and just got into it and just seen the whole, everything, the tapes my cousin had. My cousin had like so many tapes of underground songs and all that other stuff. So
this was all in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's been hip hop your whole life.
Pretty much, yeah. Since since about 9 years old.
Yeah. And I imagine back then, because the other elements of hip hop, breakdance and graffiti, were kind of like more prevalent in the earlier years. Like everybody breakdance. People, now you got to be kind of like a dancer to breakdance. But back in the day, everybody breakdance, and people, a lot of people had a tag. Maybe you didn't do full-on flops and graffiti, but people had a tag. So you grew up in that era.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. And then studio work. When do you start getting into the studio?
Studio work was really in high school. My boy Puzzle Beats, we got together and was doing studio work. He the one that pretty much taught me how to write in like 16 bars. I didn't know what bars was.
Yeah.
I used to write rhymes until I was just tired, felt to stop. And but then, I went to high school with Mobb Deep, with Pierre, Prodigy and Havoc, and they was going to the studio too, and that's pretty much when the studio started with that.
Got it. So you were going to high school with them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope. Wow.
A bunch of people went to my high school. Kwame went to art and design. Prince Poe, Farrell Munch, Sticky Fingers for a short period of time. Mobb Deep, Blessed Prodigy, Pumpkinhead, battle rapper Pumpkinhead, he went to art and design. A lot of people, quite a few people went to art and design.
Wow. And Ghee.
Yeah, Ghee.
Wow. It's like a Hall of Fame school.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was quite a few people in there.
Yeah. So that's when you start. So basically, around high school, you start basically being around more of the professional side of the game, or having close associates that are actually.
I mean, it wasn't really professional. We just liked to rap. Like, the guys I used to hang out with. I'm not gonna lie, art and design period, like 4th, 5th, and 6th period. No one went to class. 4th and 5th, 6th period was the Terror Dome. It was a lot of battles, and there was a lot of battles in the lunchroom, a lot of rapping in the lunchroom. Me and my friends, we had to have a new rhyme every day. That was the process. I wouldn't even do homework, but I would come to school with a new rhyme. Ready. Had to learn it, no reading it off the paper, nothing. Just we had to know it.
Wow.
In one night. every day for a week straight, like weeks on it.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's like hip hop high school.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like you learn the craft.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you go to like a digital streaming platform, the first album that's on there is the 2007 project, Bullet in a Bracelet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was first introduced to you. That's, you did that with Team Demolition and Depth Charge and all that. Salute to Team Demo and Depth Charge.
Mm-hmm.
Were there earlier recordings or earlier albums, or is that kind of like the first trio?
When I first, I actually, I did a demo. Somebody white labeled a demo of mine.
Nah.
Yeah, before I got locked up, I was doing the demo to give to Prodigy and them manager at the time. And when I got locked up, I found out somebody white labeled a song I did called Thug Thoughts. It was like the last song. It was like Thug Thoughts, and I don't know. It was like, as far as I know, it went around everywhere. I don't know who did it. I don't know how they got it. I don't know, because that was my demo. And
did they put it on vinyl, or was it just on?
Yeah, they put it on
so
vinyl.
They white labeled an underground record of yours,
they
basically.
White labeled a demo. It was a demo. I was doing a demo because like the plan was I was going to give what who was I was going to give it to? I believe I don't know. All I know, the person who mixed down Hell on Earth, Mario Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He liked the way I did. He liked my music, and he was like, "Yo, I will mix your demo down for you."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was before I got locked up. So yeah, I don't know. I was just working on it, and I wound up getting locked up at the time. Havoc was going to do the demo for me, and then because I was working on one, right? That's what it is. I was working on one, and then Havoc was like, "Yo, I'll do the beats for your demo," and because at the time they was working out of Access Studios. And Mario was like, "Yo, they had a lockout, a 24-hour lockout, and it was like $2,500 at the time. I was selling drugs at the time. I spent a little bit too much money, and I was going to go back down to get money to pay for the lockout. And Havoc told me not to go. I went anyway, and I got locked up."
Wow. And that put a pause on everything.
Yeah, so that's why you hear me on Hell on Earth on Can't Get Enough of It, and then you heard nothing else from me for like 6 years. Wow. 6, 7 years.
Wow. And then after that comes Bullet in a Bracelet.
No, it's actually, I did a mixtape. I thought when I came home, 50 Cent was on fire.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, must be the wave to go to do the mixtape.
Yeah.
I actually did something called For the Streets, but it, the cover was terrible. I actually used an old picture I had, and even though I had a Tech 9 in the picture, and I tried to cover it, like I tried to crop the gun out, but for some reason, somehow people still seen the handle of it. It was like, oh, what the hell is that you holding? It was a terrible cover, but I did something called For the Streets first. Then I believe it was Murder. Was it Murder? I think it was Murder and Truth, or but it was one or the other. Either I did Bullet in the Bracelet first, then Murder and Truth. One of the two, because they're like in the same era, same time.
Got it. Man, so there's a music floating around out there that people may not even know about.
Well, some people know about Murder and Truth, but not too many know about For the Streets.
Yeah.
I tried to make sure nobody knew about that. But it was just, I was just really like rhyming over other people's beats anyway.
Yeah, mixtape style. Kind of how 50 did it, yeah. I saw the Murder and Truth, at least I saw like the cover on your website, but it's not on Spotify.
No.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So then after you know that album and Bullet in the Bracelet, you've got like a 2012 project, and then you've got your 2014 project.
After Murder and Troop, Bullet in the Bracelet, I put out mixtapes, one called New York Crunk and Elegy Attacks over Premier Beats, which shout outs to Premier because he gave me a thumbs up. He must have heard it. Then I probably moved on to the other stuff that I was doing at that time.
Yeah. You had the Social Graffitis, the 2014 album.
Yeah. I know it was one before Social Graffiti. I think maybe when come out.
It was like Angel Dust and Waffles.
Angel Dust and Waffles, yeah. Shout out to Dom Dirty.
Yeah.
Angel Dust and Waffles. I believe I had When the King come out too. I had another mixtape somewhat. Yeah, I believe it's When the King come out.
Yeah.
I got them all written down somewhere, the years.
Yeah. And they're floating around out there. But you've been steadily grinding, but then something happens around 2018 where there's all this content that comes out. You got Suede cigarettes. You got the metal detectors with Sean Price, rest in peace. Then you've got a project in 2019. I think you do 3 projects in 2020, a 2021 project, a 2022 project. I mean, basically, and you know, since 2018, you've been exploding with really being prolific and putting out a lot of content. Does something change?
No, I just, you know, you're just trying things out. You know, you just want to do more, say a couple things I wanted to say, learning more about myself, you know, how I want to present the music and things that I want to say. Like, you know, it took me a long time to become like an open book. You know, for the longest, I always kept my music like pretty much like MC wise, you know, a joke, you know, we call it rapidy rap. I just kept it rapidy rap. You know, I wouldn't get too much into, you know, topics or stuff like that. But now, you know, it's like therapy to talk about these things. You know, how I felt or how I feel on situations. So I'm trying to become more of an open book on, you know, topics now.
Yeah.
So that's when it was just growing into that.
Yeah. Your voice is really dope. You have a way with words. You come up with really cool phrases. I mean, like Suede cigarettes. You know what I mean? And like you just constantly like, what's the new one? Denim malt liquor.
Yeah.
Fried apple juice. You're really creative. You have really dope. The way you put words together and the ideas, you know, they kind of like mismatch, and it's just cool. Like you could almost.
You the only person I ever heard that understood that I like putting words together that don't seem like they go together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
I've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
Like it just sounds crazy. Like, you know, knock on your door and throw a shark inside your house. That doesn't, you know, I don't think people use enough imagination.
Yeah.
And like for me, you know, I could talk about the street shit all day. People would be amazed what type of things I've done in the street. But it's still, hip hop is over the top. You know, this is why I wear big jewelry and, you know, stuff like that. It's over the top. So sometimes you got to use a little imagination. I like to use imagination. It expands the mind rather than, I just straight up talking about, you know, doing stuff. So I'd rather, you know, I like the fact to talk about maybe my words will shoot at you. Like the concept of that is ill. Like my gunner carry a gun. Like it's retarded. It makes you think like what makes you think of that?
Yeah.
You know, I said I had a Uzi that was made from a Honda Accord.
Yeah.
Who would think of stuff like that? So
yeah, but like, it stretches the imagination. It's a little bit almost like it's definitely wordplay, but almost like something you'd see like in an anime or something that's like over the top, right? Some of the things can't happen in our realm, but they're happening in your mind.
Right.
You know, it's it's fascinating how you do that. But you're a creative, and doing this deep dive into your catalog of music. I'm going through your YouTube, and I remember seeing the New York Minute. Like I see little things on your Instagram, and I see like little snippets here and there over the years, you know. But today was the first time that I went in deep and realized that you basically you shot like, it's almost the equivalent of footage of like 20 movies, right? So it's like season 1 has like 13 episodes, but they're about an hour each episode.
Well,
and then
I re-edited. It's about like the first time when I was really learning stuff.
Yeah.
The episodes, most of the episodes is probably like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But then re-edited to put like episode 1 and episode 2 together to stretch it out.
Yeah.
But season 2, they're about close to an hour.
So like one of the things that that's kind of like, you know, that I'm into is that I like watching these little hood movies. And on Tubi, you can find them, you know, and it's what I find fascinating is the uniqueness of the storylines, but also how people are finding actors and putting things together. And you basically created mini movies. You created a bunch of mini movies. So I got a lot of questions regarding New York Minute because I'm like fascinated, and basically that's all I'm going to be watching tonight. Is it coming back?
Yeah.
So can you share anything about that?
Well, basically, New York Minute is based on my life. You know, New York Minute is about change and how hard it is to change in a hostile urban environment. So basically, you know, at one point in time when I was home, and, you know, if you're not careful, you'll fall back into your old ways. And so I started feeling like that at a certain point in time, being around certain people. But then I had to realize, like, you know, you gotta change out of that. And I realized like why like we was getting into stuff. One, we didn't know no better. Two, it was boring as shit if you was like, you know, on the straight and narrow. So, you know what I'm saying? I understood, and just coming home, learning how to, you know, to adapt and change, it's hard. It's hard. Like friends, you know, certain friends are still there, certain friends are still doing things.
Yeah.
You know, you can see, you know, you can go to people that you feel owed you certain things, and you're like, yo, do this for me or whatever, but it's difficult. So I based it, the main character name is Deuce, but his name is Greg Smith. So I put me and my other friend, he passed away, Duke. I put our names together, and I created, you know, Deuce. You know, he was a kid that was, you know, his mother died early, and he felt his mother was taken from him, so he decided to take and do things on his own. And, you know, 5 friends, everybody have their own situations. Simone is looking for love. Like, Deuce want to exit the game and teach his friends and, you know, get them all together. Simone is looking for love. Trav has a family secret that he has to protect. Frizz wants to be a millionaire but has no clue how to become a millionaire. And Anna Moss is trying to make another connection with his family. And that's what the old characters, everything is not about what they do, it's about what they're going through. And how things, you know, no matter what you're going through, things can change in a New York Minute.
That's dope. And you created the characters, you wrote it, and you directed it.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And a lot of the actors, well, did you cast all the actors?
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of actors is just friends from the neighborhood.
Yeah, so
or friends that I know.
Yeah.
You know, I had to study how to be a director. I had to study how to be a director, what type of director I wanted to be, how to get the, you know, the best from the actors, you know. So, you know, if you tell someone, you know, most likely a lot of these things we've been through.
Yeah.
So if you can get to, say it with your eyes first, or, just say it how you would say it. I can write it in a certain way. So, but I just need you to say it the way you say it, and it sounds more natural. I'm not asking you to play a doctor. The thing different on you is the name of the character. But these words, just say it how you would say it, and it sounds more natural. Rather rather than I get someone that's a non-actor and be like, okay, I need you to say these words like a doctor. Well, it's gonna fall on me because I have to do the to learn these words and know the definition of these words to write that stuff in there.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm blown away by the fact that you're so talented, right? So like you're a dope MC. I know you primarily through your music. Your vocal tone is dope. We were just talking about the wordplay that you do. Your catalog is amazing. But I'm really into movies also. So discovering New York Minute and how complex it is and how well done it is. When I was reviewing some of the episodes, you've got a large cast and lots of locations. You're at a bar, you're at the Metro, you're you know what I'm saying, you're in the neighborhood, you're in different locations. I imagine for like some of it, like the bars and stuff like that, you knew people that you were like using.
Yeah, friends, because you know, even though there's not a crazy budget for it, you ask friends and so on, can they use it? Sometimes you go to the neighborhood and, if they know you're a positive person, they'd be like, hey, I have no problem with it, because they see that you're doing something positive and so on and so forth. Plus, I wanted my characters, the characters and the characters' enemies to look like they have something. Everybody can't sell drugs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though, Frizz and them, they do other stuff, but it's not about what they're doing. It's about what they're going through in their life. You know what I'm saying? And these guys have gone too far to turn back now. And that's where you get the, the problem with Frizz and Deuce, because, Deuce want to exit. Frizz don't want to have nothing. And Frizz is like, man, we started it. We're going to die here. So we might as well get to it. Don't keep that Malcolm X shit to yourself, man. That ain't me. So, and it's just, I also wanted to show the loyalty between friends because that's how I grew up. I never had me and the guys that, that I've been in the street with never had issues over girls or nothing other and, going at each other over dumb shit. So, I just wanted to show the real loyalty, even though you may not get along sometimes. Your brother is your brother. And, that don't, you don't, the first sign of an argument of a disagreement, you don't shoot at your friends. That's crossing the line. That means you never was cool with me in the first place if that was your intention.
So the idea for season 3, you've got it. Is it written? Is it something that you're going to be working on?
It's mostly written. COVID fucked up season 3. And then, at one point in time, I got into a bad accident. So, I never really explained it. But, yeah, but we're about to get back to it. We have started filming before all the stuff happened. Some things I may have to reshoot because it's been too long or whatever. So, I'm getting it together. And, I have pretty much the whole season, how I want everything to go. How the direction of everything. So
that's dope, man. I can't wait for that to come out. I'm gonna binge watch season 1 and 2 and be eagerly waiting for it.
Yeah. Please, for me, just watch the re-edit version of season 1.
All right. Yeah, so you got that.
Yeah, it's a re-edited version of season 1. Please watch that rather than.
Yeah, and this is probably a good moment to plug. For folks that maybe are hearing about your web series, A New York Minute, for the first time, where can they find that?
Elegy TV on YouTube. Or you can go to the website and watch it over there too. But it's still going to lead to Elegy TV on YouTube on elegy.net.
Yeah. And for aspiring writers and directors, you've done a cool thing also where you do kind of like a behind the scenes. So you interview, like you show how certain things were made and talk to some of the actors. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool too.
At one time, I was explaining each episode.
Mm.
You know, sometimes things need to explain. Like like a lot of people didn't get. Well, many people probably got it, but in season 1, episode 5 is called "The Moment I Feared," and I actually titled from Slick Rick. So I put the fear of every character on the show, and you didn't realize. Like I threw hints in there. Like if you watching it, then all of a sudden it goes black and white.
Mm.
You know, say we dream in black and white. So that's during the whole time things that go in and out black and white, just to let you know. You know, you don't notice it at the time, but these people are dreaming. Like they awake maybe like the first 8 minutes of the episode. And after that, you'll see like all of them is then at the end, it's a shock that, you know, after all their fears, they pop up out of their sleep. And, you know, that it was a dream.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I think that in addition to the entertainment value, there's probably a lot of you know, people who want to get into directing, doing movies, especially now with the internet, how things have opened up, even beyond YouTube. You know, with things like Film Hub and stuff like that, you could get it out there on different platforms. So that's cool, and you're so creative. In addition to a New York Minute, which is established now. You've been doing that for a few years. You've got, you know, this will be the 3rd season. Do you have any other, you know, like movie plans or you know, because I know you got ideas.
Yeah, I got ideas. And the next thing I want to do it's gonna be, you know, I just want to make sure I complete New York Minute first.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to move on with a couple. I want to do a short film. And I want to move on to another idea. I have 2 ideas for 2 more series that I want to do. And yeah, I just want to get into that. Actually 3. It's actually 3 ideas. But once I get everything sorted out, like New York Minute was a great learning tool.
Yeah.
You know, something Prodigy taught me was like, yo, if you don't have the budget for it, don't write it in there. So New York Minute taught me how to write being broke. And get things done being that's like it was a great learning tool. You know, there's no need, you know, to try to put a helicopter in there. We don't have that money, so it doesn't make sense. So, you know, you get to see the characters grow and everything get a little bit dangerous. More is at risk each season. It's supposed to get how it's supposed to go. You know, can't have these characters has goals. And, you know, a lot of shows didn't have characters with goals. And they was just, you know, they were just there in the street. You know each one. See, Finesse, you can't even, this is a whole nother conversation, Finesse. Don't worry, I'm going to see you and Static Selector tomorrow on the pool table. Don't come in here talking trash. All right, now, we have rude individuals from the Bronx coming here popping junk about this we have like a little personal pool table beef going on.
Yeah, I saw him. He said you need to be practicing.
Yeah. we have you know what I'm saying, rude individuals coming here speaking, popping junk during this situation.
It's all love.
You know, that's these guys here. But yeah, you know, you have to give the characters a goal. And people follow into that goal, because I've got cursed out quite a few times behind these characters on New York Minute. Yeah. And I love it, and it's crazy at the same time. Like, people somehow think these people are real.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, man. I can't wait to binge watch all of a New York Minute. I can't wait for season 3. I'm excited to see your first short film. You're really talented in that area. You recently got back from Canada,
right? And
you did some shows out there.
Yeah, me, Royal Flush, and Rusty Jokes.
That's dope.
It happened from DJ Chino 420 and Real Wolf.
Yeah,
those put together. And it was another guy that brought us out there in Montreal. I'm so sorry I forgot his name, but shout out to everybody that was a part of the situation.
Yeah, that's dope. Shout out to Canada. I'm glad that you're out there. It's cool to stamp your passport and you know what I mean, go out there.
Yeah, I know. Y'all gotta chill out with the salt and the gravy on the poutine though. Too salty. Y'all gotta you gotta get better with that part. Other than that, like Montreal looked like Brooklyn, but everything was French.
Yeah, French Brooklyn.
French Brooklyn, yeah. Like a hipster side of Brooklyn,
right?
But everything French. That's
cool. So your last official release was Denim Malt Liquor.
Denim Malt Liquor.
You know, yeah, last year. Dope project. I was listening to it today. You've steadily been releasing, you know, albums or at the minimum EPs every year, sometimes multiple projects per year. I think you dropped three projects in 2020. Do we got new music coming in 2023?
Yeah. I'm working on, I had named it, at first I named it Sharp Circles, but now I changed it to Psychedelic Contraband.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I'm working on that. Also, I'm working on a project with Crisis, and I'm working on something with Planet Asia. So those are the things that I'm working on right now, music-wise.
Wow. Planet Asia is dope. I can't wait to hear you guys together.
Yeah. Everybody got to die. Everybody got to die. No matter if I love you or not, everybody has to go. I'm not playing nobody rapping-wise. None at all. I don't care who you are.
I know that this is kind of like maybe like a tough question, right? But do you, like, you know, when you look back at your catalog, do you have an album that you like more than others for one reason or another?
I mean, I like all of them. I really love like the progression of all of them, especially the ones where I felt like pure freedom about something. Like I forgot which one. I think it's Murder and Truth. It was rhymes I wrote in jail. It was called Eye Level, and Havoc did the beat, and I think that's one of the dopest songs I ever done. You know, I mean, it's different. You know, for at least for me, different. Just like with Denim Malt Liquor, I think one of the dopest songs on there for me is Umbra. Umbra is about being in the shadows. I know a lot of people don't get everything that I'm saying. Everything has to do with shadows in there. So, you know, basically, like one part, I say I'm a mercenary, a smart aleck of a writer like I'm Baldwin, but casting the voice of Mr. Orson. So, Alec Baldwin played a character called the Shadow. So instead of saying Alec Baldwin, I said a smart aleck of a writer like I'm Baldwin, because there is a writer called, I forgot his name, but it's a Baldwin. The mercenary, the character, the Shadow, was a mercenary. And then when you get, you know, before television, Orson Welles was the voice of a character called the Shadow.
Oh, because he did theater. He did theater before Citizen Kane and all that stuff. He came from theater.
Yeah. And, you know, when there was no TVs and radio shows, Orson Welles was the voice of the character, the Shadow. And then, you know what I'm saying, it's like hooks intertwine like ropes. Hooks intertwine like ropes. Something about the swing punchlines to weave through the rounds like ghosts. If you put those together, hooks, of course, it's rap hooks. but hooks as in fighting, rope. If you take hook, rope, swing, weave, rounds, and ghosts. Remember, the song is about shadow. You put all those together. I'm talking about boxing.
Mm.
Shadow boxing.
Shadow boxing. Yeah. Yeah, it's like levels.
Yeah.
There's like levels to it. Yeah. Yeah, you're we talked about your movies and your writing, and then obviously your music. You're a writer. You know what I mean? Like in your mind, you come up with really complex concepts. One concept that I found in going through your catalog that what I think is really, really cool is that you're really good about writing about topics. Like, you'll have like a topic and then like you'll go deep on that and with intricate rhymes. But one of the things that I found really cool was and it's not so complex, but it is a story. So it's complex in the sense that it's a story, but not necessarily with all the underlying things like what you were just describing. Mm-hmm. It's Pop from the Barbershop. Oh yeah, that's the prequel to Warning. Dude, that's a movie. That's a whole movie. So yeah. The sample is the sample at the beginning. The producer loops and adds remakes the beat for Warning by Biggie Smalls. And for people who haven't heard the song yet, I highly recommend go look up Pop from the Barbershop. And the song Warning by Biggie Smalls has the line in there. It was my boy Pop from the Barbershop. Yeah. So you take that character and create a whole. Yeah, I say everything from Pop from the Barbershop perspective. Yeah, to include fame and everything they talk about. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? He's nervous. He just want to go to the gambling spot. It's late. He see a couple things. He make a couple sales. He has money. And then once the gambling spot opens, it's kind of like broke even. And then Fame walks in and tell him like, yo, I heard people downstairs talking. I go outside to see what it is. I'm nervous. Are they still out there? What's going on? Like, will they come back? So at this moment, it's already late. I go to the phone and I call Big. Yeah. And I let him know. And I end the song where Warning begins. That's the dopest concept, man. Thanks. That's such a dope concept. I went back and actually watched the video for Warning, and I was like, "Oh, Puffy plays Pop in the music video." But I remember when I first heard the album, before there was a video to it, it was cool because that's the first time, at least that I remember, the same rapper doing like what Big did. Where he, it's his voice, but they added some sort of an effect on it, like a telephone effect. And then he played Pop. Did it first. Yeah. I think Slick Rick was the first one to do it. But was Slick Rick the first one? Yeah. Yeah. And that's such a hats off to you. That's such a cool concept and such a, because when you for hip hop heads, that's kind of like a mainstream offspring. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows Big. His first album is, incredibly famous, one of the most famous hip hop albums of all time. And you did the spin-off that is incredibly creative. Yeah, I love that joint. Do you do any of your own production or do you generally work with people? No, I actually Murder and Troop, I did a lot of beats on Murder and Troop, but I just bought a machine 2-3 days ago. Get out and learn how to. I want to I have to learn to master this machine to create my own beats. What machine did you get? A Kai Peak MPK Mini 3. Okay. Is that the kind with the keys and the drum pads? Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. Oh, watch out. Yeah. I haven't mastered it yet, but yeah, I will get it. Yeah. I can't wait to hear that. There's one track, I'm just curious, this is a personal question. One of my favorite songs of yours and going through your discography is off of Jesus and Better Drugs.
Mm.
and it's the opening track called Ladder 99. That track is so fire.
Hey,
Your flow is amazing. Production's amazing. Who produced that?
see, I believe it was Crummy Beats.
Got it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That. Yeah, your catalog is spectacular. But you know how I'm going through it. I went through your whole discography, and I'm adding stuff to my playlist. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be on the workout playlist right there, right? And I came across that gem, and I hadn't heard it before, and it's such a banger. Ladder 99.
Yeah.
Do you have like if you had to look at your whole catalog, and somebody said, you were playing your music for somebody who's never heard your music before,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you wanted us, just kind of lead with what you thought was one of your strongest tracks. Are there a couple of songs, especially for like maybe somebody who is discovering you for the first time? What would be, a few tracks you'd be like, here's the Ghee starter kit?
As far as a concept song, I would go with a song I called Wake Up Call. Wake Up Call is about a person who went to jail, and he's calling his wife to apologize for all the things he put, from going back and forth to jail. And I like Wake Up Call because, I've seen a lot of people go through it, and they try to blame, they want to put a lot of pressure on their lady when, your family didn't get you locked up. You got you locked up. So you can't put that type of pressure on people. And sometimes you need to wake up and apologize. So, there's a line in there that I said, I left you alone. I know you fucked home, but none of that wouldn't occurred if I was home. So you can't get mad if you with someone, a female, and you're locked up and she's out there on the street. Like, yo, she didn't leave you. You left her. You gotta respect that. It's like, sometimes you gotta fall back and be like, look, if you stay, like the lady, the female I was dealing with when I got locked up was like, look, if you want to stay, stay. But I can't stop you from doing what you do.
Yeah.
Just send me a picture in your panties here and there. I'm all right. I can't afford to be stressing myself out thinking about if you fucking somebody or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our cousins and OGs put me onto the rules like, yo, they didn't get locked up. I ain't asked my mother for money. I asked nobody for money. And the crazy shit is that it seemed like the more I didn't ask for money, the more money I got.
The commissary was fat.
Bless all my friends that sent me money while I was locked up. Prodigy used to come through, give my brother money, all my friends, and I asked them for nothing, like nothing. I knew what time it was, I knew what it was, and that's it. I asked them for nothing. But as far as like a concept song, yeah, Wake Up Call is a very, very, very important song to me. As far as rap one, I really love, it was actually Sean Price's favorite too, is a song I got called Rum Raisin. And as far as MC wise, like that was my song. I like that. I really, really like that song. It's too many. Like another concept was like with Team Demo. It was one I did. It's basically I got shot and everything is playing like I actually took the concept from Jacob's Ladder. It's an old film called Jacob's Ladder. Where you look at it, you see the film is crazy, but everything was really happening because he was dying, and everything that was just flashing in between. So I forgot. I think it's called Damp Ladder. And everything was flashing in front of me of when I was small, riding the bike, the twins, and all that other stuff. But I like the concept of that. I like the concept of Project Ella, of being born in 9 days. Like, basically, the creator's putting me together, and in each day he's giving me different things. And I like Project Ella. I like it's too many MCs. I couldn't really tell you, especially more closer to what I was doing now. Injected with gin. I mean, if people, a lot of stuff, I mean, just, it's too many. I honestly could say it's too many to things if, people really knew, what these songs was about and the concept of the songs. And, the whole half of it is really about my life in the street. But, I think it goes over people's heads. They don't understand the stuff on there. And, yeah, like Rolls Royce. I think Rolls Royce is on Fried Apple Juice. It's too many songs. It's too many.
That's dope. I mean, you named a lot of them also. So like, somebody listening to this could like make a little list right there and be like, he the author, the writer, the rapper of these songs actually named these songs right here. Let me check them out. So that's really cool. You've worked with a who's who in hip hop. You came up with Mobb Deep. You've been on Duck Down, worked with Sean Price, worked with Method Man, been on Alchemist album. What artists that you haven't worked with that maybe you know them, maybe you don't, but that if you could just like name an artist or two or three, they'd be like, yeah, I like the way they flow. It'd be cool.
No, I have put it on Instagram. I have a hit list.
Yeah. What's the hit list? What's the hit list?
It's people that I respect lyrically.
Yeah.
But they still gotta go. if we do a song together, they have to go.
Yeah.
It's quite a few of them. I'm actually, waiting on a verse to come back from RJ Payne. I already told you the Planet Asia situation. But like Royce the 5'9", Black Thought, like I got to rhyme with Black Thought, but I couldn't get him like I wanted to because it was other MCs in the room.
Yeah. So
I didn't get to go back and forth like I wanted to on Tony Touchdown. But Black Thought, it got to go. Pharrell Monch got to go. So, I love Pharrell Monch, like I said, on design. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dudes, I want to do a song when they got to go. You know what I'm saying? People that I respect. I don't even care. Even Eminem. Like, I know Eminem like Sean a lot. And, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he got to go too. Everybody. I don't care who you are, like what it is. It's just got to go. I mean, that's where it was. I treated Prodigy and Sean Price the same way. Yeah. Basically, you know what? Metal Detectors is basically me and Sean Price saying to each other, my rhymes is better than yours. Because we used to really say that to each other all the time. Like, yo, my rhymes are, you crazy? I will body you. You stupid? Who are you talking to? But, yeah, that's how we just...
And you created a classic project. I mean, that's a classic.
Yeah. People don't even know that the Songs in the Key of Price is a joke. It's an inside joke. That's our version of the Purple tape. I'm Ghostface, he's Raekwon. That's why it's purple. Plus it's Decepticon colors and the same thing. So that's why I was on so many songs on the Songs in the Key
of Price, yeah. Oh man, you dropping gems. Wow. In your music, like in several of the songs, you've got intros, especially on Denim Malt Liquor. You've got little snippets from movies and things like that. You're a writer and director. I think that in that area, the best is yet to come. I'm really excited to see what you do. You must love movies. I'm curious if you could share maybe 2, 3, 4 movies that you love that that's kind of on you.
It's too many. I watch movies and TV shows totally different. I go back and watch movies to dissect them. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as I think the greatest 70 movie is The Mac, like the way it's written, everything, like dope storyline, everything. I understand the characters. I know, down to the shots, how it was shot. Of course, the way Spike Lee did Do the Right Thing, the concept behind that.
Yeah.
Why he used orange and red, because it's supposed to be the hottest day of the year, and colors that represents fire. You know what I'm saying? The 12 Angry Men, how they kept the tension in one room. Like they only used like maybe two different things of the whole time. Like it's, you know, basically was in one room, and how the writing had to be so intense to keep you involved with everything going on. Like it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot. The meaning, you know, the meaning behind Citizen Kane. It's I actually used a metaphor between what is it? Menace to Society and Citizen Kane.
What's the connection between Menace to Society and Citizen Kane?
I said society is Menace and Kane, and I'm the citizen. You hardcore dickhead niggas is now impotent. So society, Kane didn't know whether he wanted to live or die. And Kane was basically about his life being taken from him because his parents gave him to someone to better his life. So I've been on both sides of the coin of Kane, and both characters' name was Kane.
And both characters' names are Kane. Yeah.
You get the, you know, society is Menace, and I'm the citizen.
Yeah.
You all called dickhead niggas is now impotent for those that don't get it.
Yeah.
That keeps going on. You know what I'm saying? For you being a dickhead, and now you're in jail. Now you're impotent.
Yeah. And for people who may not catch everything, you're talking about Menace to Society, the classic, and you're talking about the Orson Welles classic, Citizen Kane. Yeah. Which are completely two different time periods, direct, you know, genres, everything. That's dope. Yeah, that's dope. The way you put ideas together, your vocabulary, the way you think. I think you read a lot. I think that, you know, you're around literature. Do you have any book recommendations? Anything that you're like, you know, put it on game?
Heavily into becoming money literate. So I think everyone should read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad, very simple about being financially literate. And this is the other one I've read, Multifamily Homes, Real Estate Investments. So, I mean, there's other things too, but I read. It you know, you gotta actually. It's more. Oh my God! What Finesse? What you say now? On those books should be up there. Yo, Finesse, you is really talking your shit right now, man. I just tell you, I'm sick of you, Finesse. I'm just sick of you. Wait till tomorrow, man. Yo, don't come in here with this Bronx shit, this bullet shit. Now you gonna make me go on fire. Now I'm going on fire. Now it is rage on fire. That's it. You gotta stop it, man. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Yo, Finesse is trying to bring me out of character.
That's all I love. It's amazing. Shout out Lord Finesse. It's amazing to have him on here. A true legend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, those two books. It's other books too, but you know, if you want to be like traumatized and really understand, read Behold the Pale Horse. Some of the things sounds very way out the way, but Behold the Pale Horse scare you like within the first two chapters.
Yeah, I've heard of that book. I haven't read it. Thank you for sharing those. As we wrap, just, you know, two more questions that are more music related questions. One, not non-hip hop, you know, what are, you know, maybe 2, 3, 4 artists that you're into that you dig that aren't hip hop artists?
That aren't
are not.
Right now, I have a music boo, and that's Alex Isley. She's like the niece. She's a daughter of one of the Isley brothers.
Okay.
Such dope music. Such music this woman could sing. I There, it's quite a few people I listen to that does not rap all the time. Like, you know, I still listen to the music my mother used to clean the house
That's
with.
the man.
Like, and then there's other music that I like alternative rock. You know, I listen to alternative rock. Really fucked my life up because I listened to that while I was in jail. So I noticed this is why I look at things different, right? I noticed when I was locked up, I'm listening to alternative rock. So I'm like, yo, hold on. They don't attack subjects like we do. Rap is just, I knock you down, push your head off, take off your jacket, kick you in the face. Or, you know, and rap like, you know, today was a good day. In alternative rock, it'll be like, yo, the sun shines here on this day. I feel the light reflect on my face. And you know what I'm saying? As I walk through floating, and you'll be like, it's the same thing, but it's how they attack the subject. So it made me start thinking of topics different and rhyme different and just going a different way. I'm saying the same thing, but I'm just, you know, going through it in more, yeah, I guess poet, like the stuff that I'm saying now, right? It's more poetry, how I really, really want to rhyme. How I really, really want to rhyme. It's more poetic, right? Recently, for a song that I like, I did the verse on Rappers Out of Control, right? So I said, my tears made of cyanide and bullet shells, shot fried in the waters of hell. I'm still alive like a secret. I vandalized the wisely defeated. I'm spoken as a digital crime inside Egypt. I feed off a high allegiance, multiplied without a sequence by conquering the region's phoenix. No one is not going to understand what the fuck I'm talking about, but I don't care. It's not my fault. This is how I want to rhyme. So my tears are made of cyanide and bullet shell. When I cry, something has to die. You know what I'm saying? It's made of a bullet shell. Shots cried in the waters of hell. So it's like, you know, it's a play on oxymorons, water, hell, fire, water, and that's man. Also, water and fire is man and woman, which is what we, you know, are everything on the planet.
Yeah,
I'm still alive like a secret. You know how our secret can go, and how long a secret can last if you shut the fuck up. I'm still alive like a secret. I vandalized the wisely defeated. Like, you know, you just can't do nothing about it. Like, I just vandalized the wisely defeated. I'm spoken as a digital crime inside Egypt. I feed off a high allegiance, which is the creator, multiplied without a sequence. We're taught to multiply things with a sequence. So imagine multiplying something without a sequence by conquering the region's phoenix. One of the attributes of a Scorpio is a phoenix, and the phoenix is when you change into something else or when you become like uncontrollable. I'm gonna stop right there. This is how I want to rhyme all the time. But at the same time, I'm saying shit that is just, it feels more free to me. This is where I'm good. This is how I'm rhyming now.
That's dope. Yeah, and there's so many levels to it. You can't get it all in one pass.
Yeah,
you got to marinate with the tracks.
Yeah.
And you know, the end listeners gotta really digest everything and get new meaning on different listens. It's gonna hit you different in different states of mind. You know, you're by yourself in the car, maybe on a little bit of herb, like it hits you different in different moments. You're like, oh, because when you drop the like a digital crime in Egypt, and then you think back to like this is how I took it, right? Because you also leave it. You know how like you look at paintings, like a lot of the art is to the interpretation. You leave art to the interpretation.
Right.
But you know how they find like hieroglyphics and stuff, and they'll have like planes and stuff, in the hieroglyphics of Egyptians that makes you think that not only were they as advanced as we are, they were more advanced. They had digital and stuff beyond. So you're talking about digital crimes in Egypt. It's in the past, but it's like technology that doesn't even exist today. Right. Woo! So we've you know, as we wrap, and I'm highly appreciative of your time, and you're an amazing creative. You're beyond a rapper, you know, and I'm very eager to see like how high you take it. I think sky's the limit. As we wrap, we have established that they all gotta go.
Yeah.
But
right.
They all gotta go. But do you have a top 5 that are alive?
We spoke about this in Canada. It's different for me. I'm an MC person, so I can tell you without doubt, favorite rapper of all time is G-Rap. Without doubt. The technicality, the things he said, even the simple shit that he said. You know, one of my favorite lines is, you know, foes, my shadow grows as I walk slow. Nerds are scared to be heard, so they talk low.
Woo!
Like that. And that's simple, and that's sad. You know what I'm saying? I attack like a pack of whacked out maniacs. G-Rap's back. Yo, I will knock shit down when I listen to that human being round. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my favorite arrogant rapper, you know, it's not like his words really knocked me down, but his arrogance of how he just acted on screen is Run from Run DMC. Run is frontin' ass motherfucker, yo.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Run is one of the greatest frontin' arrogant fucking people in life.
Yeah.
So this is, you know, like, you know, I
like
take
tougher than leather, like in Tougher Than Leather.
Yeah, like if you see me on stage and, you know, I start, you know, touching my glasses and stuff, like I get that from Run because you know, one of the greatest things he did for me is like they did a Gap commercial and it was like fall into the nigga Run looked at his watch and I was like, this guy is the greatest ever, yo. So it's different for me. I can't really say top line that people had times when they was like super popular to me, like first 2 albums. I loved the way Nas rhymed in his first 2 albums. Past that, I really couldn't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? My friend, you know, 2 of my friends, the way they rhyme, like Prodigy. You know, I know what fuck Prodigy. I know what fuck Prodigy is. I remember that in jail, but I'll discuss that down the line. But Prodigy and Sean Price, I love the way they rhyme.
Yeah.
Prodigy rhymed like he was pointing a finger in your face. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know, I like arrogant rappers. I like people who say shit like you know, despite what people may say, I love Foul Monch get busy. Foul Monch goes under the rail. Foul Monch get busy.
Yeah. With the intricacy of his rhymes, the way he does it, the way he puts it together.
Yeah.
Organized confusion. I mean, he's been getting busy.
In high school, I seen them destroy people. Destroy. They was the first ones that I heard say cerebellum and like say the actual man, are you fucking kidding me? Like it almost looked like someone got shot when they battled people in school. The only thing missing was the blood and the body parts falling on the floor. So that, you know what I'm saying? But it's the top 5. Like, of course, Kane was an impact. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of stuff I would have to discuss because it's different for, like I said, it's different for me. And you know, it's people
Kane has an era in the late 80s where he ruled the world. He ruled the world, and he had like a 2-3 year window where he ruled the world.
Yeah, but I mean, he had his own flow. Like everything would flow. Like, you know, it's just different. It's different for me. You know, different for me. So I can't really pick an actual top 5. I could say the top 1 for me is G-Rap.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. It has been an honor and a privilege to have this time with you. I hope to be able to do it again at some point in time, maybe after that season 3 comes out. I wish you all the success in the world. I'm going to go binge watch a New York Minute tonight. I recommend other people do it. And, season 3 is going to be coming. Anybody you want to give it a shout out to, or anything you want to say? Oh, there's something really important, actually. There's something really important. I had every intention of doing this, and it slipped my mind. If people want to book you for collabs, if people want to book you to perform, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you so they could do that?
I mean, they could contact me here, but if you want to book me, if you want to do a feature, it's features4G@gmail.com. To book me for a show is shows4G@gmail.com. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I had noticed that also. The other place, if for whatever reason that went by too fast, they can just go to your website, right? illag.net, and that information's in there also. Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this time. This will be up on YouTube in about 3 hours. I appreciate you, fam. Wishing you all the success in the world.
Thank you, man. Much appreciated.
Peace.
Peace.